Hi, Daisy friends. Have you ever done flashlight reading? We're going to try that with Charlotte's Web tonight. It's getting pretty late, and Mrs. Rose is reading with a flashlight. Do you remember where we left off? Let's see if we can find it. It might be hard to read by a flashlight. Let's see. Oh, yes. Okay. It was Chapter 7, Bad News. Let's see how this works out. Wilbur liked Charlotte better and better each day. Her campaign against insects sounded sensible and useful. Hardly anybody around the farm had a good word to say for a fly. Flies spent most of their time pestering others. The cows hated them. The horses detested them. The sheep loathed them. Mr. and Mrs. Zuckerman were always complaining about them and putting up screens. Wilbur admired the way Charlotte managed. He was particularly glad that she always put her victim to sleep before eating it. "It's really thoughtful of you to do that, Charlotte," he said. "Yes," she replied in her sweet musical voice. "I have always given an anesthetic so they don't feel the pain. It's a little service I throw in." Charlotte has such a sweet voice, really a very sweet voice. As the days went by, Wilbur grew and grew. He ate 3 meals a day. He spent long hours lying on his side, half asleep, dreaming pleasant dreams. He enjoyed good health, and he gained a lot of weight. One afternoon, when Charlotte was sitting on her stool, the oldest sheep walked into the barn and stopped to pay a call on Wilbur. "Hello," she said. "Seems to me you're putting on weight." "Well, I guess I am," replied Wilbur. "At my age, it's a good idea to keep gaining." "Just the same, I don't envy you," said the old sheep. "You know why they're fattening you up, don't you?" "No," said Wilbur. "Well, I don't like to spread bad news," said the sheep, "but they're fattening you up because they're going to kill you. That's why." "They're gonna what?" screamed Wilbur. Fern grew rigid on her stool. "Kill you, turn you into smoked bacon and ham," continued the old sheep. That wasn't very nice to say, was it? "Almost all young pigs get murdered by the farmer as soon as the real cold weather sets in. There's a regular conspiracy around here to kill you at Christmas time. Everybody is in on the plot. Lurvy, Zuckerman, even John Arable." "Mr. Arable," sobbed Wilbur, "Fern's father." "Certainly. When a pig is to be butchered, everybody helps. I'm an old sheep and I see the same thing, same old business year after year. Arable arrives with his 22 shoots. Oh my goodness. "Stop!" screamed Wilbur. "I don't want to die. Save me, somebody. Save me." Fern was just about to jump up when a voice was heard. Look at Wilbur right here. Can you see with the flashlight? Let me try and adjust the light. Looks like Wilbur's crying, that old sheep. It's not very nice. "Be quiet, Wilbur," said Charlotte, who had been listening to this awful conversation. "I can't be quiet," screamed Wilbur, racing up and down. "I don't want to be killed. I don't want to die. Is it true what the old sheep says, Charlotte? Is it true they're going to kill me when the cold weather comes?" "Well," said the spider, plucking thoughtfully at her web, "the old sheep has been around this barn a long time. She has seen many a spring pig come and go. If she says they plan to kill you, I'm sure it's true. It's also the dirtiest trick I've ever heard of. What people don't think of." Wilbur burst into tears. "I don't want to die," he moaned. "I want to stay alive right here in my comfortable manure pile with all my friends. I want to breathe the beautiful air and lie in the beautiful sun." "You're certainly making a beautiful noise," snapped the old sheep. "I don't want to die," screamed Wilbur, throwing himself to the ground. and listen to what Charlotte has to say. "You shall not die," said Charlotte briskly. "What? Really?" cried Wilbur. "Who's going to save me?" "I am," said Wilbur. "How?" "I am," said Charlotte. Charlotte's the one who's going to save Wilbur. "How?" asked Wilbur. "That remains to be seen. But I am going to save you, and I want you to quiet down immediately. You're carrying on in a childish way. Stop your crying. I can't stand hysterics." But Charlotte did say she will save him, and she will. Charlotte says, "I will take care of you, Wilbur." Let's take a peek at what's coming up. And it is kind of hard to read with a flashlight, but it is kind of fun. When we come back next time, and maybe it'll be in the daylight, the chapter will be chapter 8, and it's called A Talk at Home. Let's see what it might be about. A talk at home. Who do you think the talk is going to be between? Do you have any ideas? What are you seeing? Any words that you know there? Oh, Fern, Avery, Mr. and Mrs. Arable, Uncle Homer. Wow, maybe Fern's going to have a talk about what Wilbur's worried about. When we come back next time, we'll pick up at chapter 8. And now, you know what? It's actually time for me to shut my light off and to say good night. Good night for Mrs. Rose. Sleep tight, and I will see you soon.